Testing.
Ground
Okay.
control the Major Tom.
I think we're good. Hello.
Well, you have your setup figured out. So this conversation was supposed to take place on my YouTube channel at Just Janelle. But apparently the platform, the streaming thing takes like 24 to 48 hours. So I guess procrastination doesn't always pay off when it comes to technology sometimes.
One of these days we're going to get it. It'll be fine. One of
Maybe
these days we'll have it figured out, hopefully.
Yeah, I had this whole spiel in my mind, and it's that learning curve, expectations versus reality.
Yeah, technology is hard.
It really is. It's a learning curve.
Hi.
Well, I had conversation. So 2 weeks ago when we chatted, it was about kind of all over the place, just catching up on life, talked about skincare and makeup and TV shows. And then it got deep and we were talking about like boundaries and what other stuff did we talk about?
Sorry, I got sidetracked. I saw that Paul is live with us, or he joined the conversation and said hi. So I'm
cool.
New to StreamYard and I'm trying to figure out how this all works. So
it says bello.
Yeah, I think it was probably a typo. Meant hello. I don't know. But anyway.
I didn't know that was a German.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, should we wait before more? I know a few people were going to join, but we can review our 2 weeks ago session and then.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go back to what you were saying. I'm paying full attention now.
I was recapping for those who had missed our conversation 2 weeks ago on your channel. Just the life that we. Oh, Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for being with us. I'm not a tech person, and it's so annoying. Yeah, so it was supposed to be on my channel, and so you bring it all out, and you go with the flow, flexibility in the age of COVID and quarantine. Thanks for being with us. But yeah, last time we talked was about kind of skincare, makeup. Lauren also had a bunch of TV recommendations after that conversation. Some really good ones that we talked about. What else? Other things we talked about, like boundaries and people pleasing was a big one.
Yeah. We also talked about tips and tricks for toddlerhood and how to help me with the sass queen.
Oh, and I tried to video Maxine this morning. She wanted nothing. And it's been a few weeks. I haven't seen her in a bit. And she just shook her head no and started crying. Like, thanks.
Yeah. She was whining. She was whining a little bit. Yeah, she's just been extra fussy today. So she went to bed pretty easily. So that's good. Yeah. Hoping she'll wake up in a better mood tomorrow. But we shall see.
Well, so 2 weeks ago, I had started with sharing about how proud I was we went to this fancy, like all you can eat steak restaurant, and the bill ended up being like $250 for 4 people. And the service was awful. It was our first time there in a new city. And it just like was not worth, we didn't get any well done options. And I was so proud of myself because I ended up talking to the manager and they took care of us, like took, 50% off the bill and gave us gift cards. And like, I felt so proud for speaking up. Well, I wanted to start today's conversation with how I had epic fails at that yesterday. And I don't know if it's like, depends on what type of industry you're in and how bold I feel, or if it was just because that bill was $250 and the service was just awful. But 2 experiences yesterday I wanted to brief with you. And I talked a little bit about my haircut. So I think Lauren will appreciate this. I got my first haircut in like 6 months. I wanted to trim. I researched all the ones in the local area, the best reviews, like I put research into it, and I've had haircut PTSD, have had hack jobs before. I have thicker hair, and I'm always nervous. Usually in places that I stay in for a while, I find one person and I'm with them the entire time I'm there. So I tried out a new person yesterday. And on the phone, they're like, yeah, she has like 20 years of experience. She's been doing this for 20 years. I'm like, okay, like she's used to she's in the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. So I went in, love a research project. Yeah. So went in, showed her a picture, told her I just wanted half an inch. It's just a hair trim. Um, and so as I'm sitting in the chair, you just start to feel more and more anxious about the strategies and the cuts that they're doing. She's like hack jobbing it. She is going around and just like full inches off. She asked me if she can thin it at the end. So it was a good example of that whole idea of expectations versus reality, right? Because I went on like Pinterest, I found cute, can you see that? I found cute little, lob bobs, showed her those pictures, right? Like just a little trim up.
Yeah.
What I got yesterday after she styled it was, and I explained it to Hobby when I got home. I felt like a 90s like Hispanic porn star vibe. And after that, I washed it and I'm like, now I feel well, and then it's like early 2000 mom's cut. So that's when she styled it and she curled it.
Oof.
Yeah, I was not happy. That was my not happy face. I felt like so and Hobby, so I like compared this to remember Deb Scott in One Tree,
Yes.
Nathan's mom. I
Uh-huh.
felt like early 2000s like mom. And so this is what we're working with today after a wash. And Lauren, you'll appreciate this analogy. I feel like I
For anyone,
belong.
hold on. For anyone that doesn't remember One Tree Hill, Deb Scott.
Pretty accurate. I feel like I aged like 15 years. It's amazing what a
know,
haircut can do.
you know that it's a bad sign. Okay, stylists are supposed to be the best ones at styling. So like usually you want to prolong that salon hair and
Oh
not
yeah.
wash it for 3 or 4 days. But
Yeah.
like it's bad when you can't wait to get home and rewash it.
Yeah. And guys have it so easy. Hobby will go to master cuts or super cuts or whatever the cheap ones are. And they have his style of like the buzz cut and like frame. And like he always washes it so anyways, it feels like mushroom heavy because the shortest layer. And then she thinned it out. So now it's like this rat tail thing at the end.
Yeah.
And now the analogy I'm using, and Lauren, you'll appreciate this. I feel like I belong in Tegan and Sarah band in early 2000s. So that's kind of, and then it's like, okay, if I went someplace to get it fixed, they can't fix that. I have no hair now under here. She thinned it out that much. And it's like, what's that atomic bomb, the nuclear bomb mushroom cloud thing? So anyways, that is my, so moral of the story, she was so sweet. She was older. We had great rapport, even though I was sitting there with anxiety. I lied to her, put that fake smile on. I love it. It looks so good. I tipped her above and beyond. And those are the circumstances where it's like, I will never see you again. But I feel like Allison's like this too. I will never see you again, but you've been doing this craft for 20 years. I'm not, and I guess they don't learn that way, but it's like, I was so proud 2 weeks ago by talking to a restaurant manager about how the service, and I couldn't do it with a hair salon person.
I think it's different because you're criticizing someone's livelihood, whereas at a restaurant, it's not like, you'd still technically be criticizing the chef, but I don't know, it's just
It's
different.
a team effort versus one person too. Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know, it's more, I don't know, yeah, it's harder to, oh, mom says hi, and it doesn't look that bad. Don't lie.
I just feel like I'm in the wrong decade,
You kind of, okay, so you're giving all these like 90s, early 2000s, but Manny, the mammoth from I think
Oh no, so maybe the middle cut shouldn't be. So it's like, okay, do I go get it fixed? But if I get it fixed,
I would
how would they fix it? She
I would
hacked
get
it
it.
up. Like, I'm not
She
trying to go this short.
No, I know, but they would be able to probably blend all those layers a little bit better so it's not so choppy. Because right
I
now it's
call
very
this
drastic. I mean, you can see where it like stops here and then it goes here and stops again and then goes here and stops. So they'd probably be
shooting
able to,
layers.
yeah, she'd give you, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Lauren, you're right. Why is it always when you want just a trim? And I I'm like, should I wait? It was kind of impulsive, but I had been looking at different places. And I guess that's the difference of going to a small town versus a major city. Like, my bad, should have. And so I guess I'll just wear it up and mushroom heavy. Yeah. I call
I
that the bookcase layers.
I
But
would
this is why I have
recommend,
anxiety going to
yeah,
get haircuts.
I will say, I have a really hard time trusting people to cut my hair because I'm very particular about how I want it to be able to style. And
Yeah.
I want to be able to style it on my own at home well. And if I can't do that or you cut it bad, and then I just end up wearing it in a ponytail for 6 months until it grows out and
Yeah.
then get it
Which
recut
is
again and try someone new.
Yeah, which is what I was doing before because got so long and so heavy that it's like, I don't want to style this. And I like an indicator for me of when I need a haircut is literally when I wear it in a ponytail every single day and I
Yeah.
don't do anything with it.
Yeah. So it is hard to confront them about what you don't like, but maybe what might make it easier for you is instead of waiting until the very end and them like turning you around in the chair with the mirror and saying, "How do you like it?" and then feeling pressure to lie and say, "Oh, it looks good." Maybe if you notice that you don't like it as you're going through the haircut, say something then and there and be like, because I've done that with haircuts before where, I see her like cut my bangs a certain length and I'm like, no, can you actually like make them a little shorter or can you blend those more? Or can you add more layers? Can you add more texture? Can you take, and so I'm constantly telling them like, oh no, I don't like how that looks. Can you do this more? And that makes me it helps because then I'm able to communicate what I'm needing and what I'm wanting. And then it doesn't make me feel like a butthole for waiting till the very end and be like, I absolutely hate this. I'll never come to you again. But I'm not going to tell you that to your face.
You would think a picture and then the length
Yeah.
amount off would be indicators. And then it's almost like you're in an instant shock when the first snips start going and it's so much longer because like, what are you going to do? You're going to have one short piece there and then say something
Yeah.
like, and so it's
Yeah.
like, should I just let her go? So
Yeah. It's also that hard balance of like, okay, well, maybe I just need to, trust that she's got it and she's going to make it come together in the end. And then, ah, mom
oh,
says
I
it's
put in contacts, mom. I literally, when I get my hair cut, yeah, I don't want that big of a surprise when I go get, and I'm blind in the mirror. And so I literally I put in contacts so I can see what they're doing the whole time.
funny.
Ugh.
Ugh.
But anyway, so the second horror story I had yesterday is we went to, I, it's been hard in a small town. You kind of get sick of the same foods. And we have just kind of out eaten at the independent chains, like the no chains that are just like independent, restaurants. And I know everything on their menu and I get really sick of it. And so last night we're like, and I was super hungry. I didn't get done with notes until later. Like it was like 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock by the time we're like eating dinner or going out. And so we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. And it was Hobby's first time trying B-dubs. And it's one right in town, right down the street. It had bad reviews, like 3.2 or something.
Yeah, they've gone really downhill ever since Arby's bought them out.
I didn't know Arby's bought them out.
Oh yeah, like 6 years ago. Yeah.
Interesting. Because I was telling Javi, I was like, I've been in three B-dubs at 3 different states: Michigan, Tacoma, Michigan,
Yeah.
Washington, and here now. And it was really busy. And so it's that mentality of like, oh, well, it just has low reviews because those are the people that want to complain about their service. And it's always so busy, especially on the weekends in a small town. It's kind of that bar feel like, maybe it is decent and people just complain. No, you gotta freaking trust Google reviews. The wait was awful, and then he got like a brisket, and then I got wings, and we were gonna split it, and everything came out cold. Everything was awful. It did not settle well. I made Javi pay for it because I'm like, I like paying for food when it's good, but it just feels like a waste of money when it's awful. And with brisket, so I'm having to Google everything I'm allowed to eat nowadays of what's like safe for pregnant women. And yeah, I didn't know if brisket was. And so Javi looked on his phone. He's like, the temperature has to be at least like 165. And so I'm glad he ordered because I was going to go like in this whole long spiel, like, I need the brisket at least, really hot. Like, I want it like, just make it really, really hot. When Javi ordered, he's like, can we just get it well done? I'm like, that was probably a better way. And he's like, or I could have said, I need it to be at least internal temperature wise, at least 165 so that it is safe for my pregnant wife to eat.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I couldn't eat his. The hot wings were not, it was awful. It was cold. It was rubber. It was off. So,
Oh,
anyways,
man. That's awful.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yesterday was a bad day. And I didn't, so he tipped him when the waiter came back to ask, like, how is everything? I made him answer. He's like, oh, it's all right. It's good. I could have advocated and said, oh, it's pretty cold. Can everything go back in the oven and like heat it up? I didn't. If I wanted to cause a scene, I could have. But then I felt a little good at the end because he at the end when we were checking out, he's like, do you guys want a membership reward? Do you want, to sign up? And I was like, honestly, we're not going to be eating here again. And that made me feel a little better, but it did. I don't know. So anyways, if you're new to us, that was my big news surprise. I kind of snuck it in under the radar.
The nonchalant. Yeah, you want to backtrack and say that again?
I'll say what? Which part?
What? What do you mean?
What? Yeah, I am expecting my first little nugget.
Congratulations. I can't believe I'm just now hearing about it on YouTube Live. That's a really shitty way to tell your sister that you're pregnant. Thanks.
Don't lie to the people. No, you were actually, so Jess was the second one that I told. I texted. Yeah, because
You didn't even tell me first.
I mean, Javi was the first one I told.
Okay.
And then you, and then Dad, because he was staying with us. So it was our little Christmas Eve morning present. So
Christmas miracle.
yeah, it was our little present. Found out over that. So I've had my first ultrasound. I'll post to social media probably on Valentine's Day. I have another follow-up doc appointment Monday morning. But yeah, Javi wants to know gender. I wanted to keep it surprise, but I think for him, he really wants to. What? You're pregnant, Mom? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'll be 11 weeks this upcoming week.
Nice.
And then we could talk a little bit about. There's a lot of pressure on women on like when to share, when not to share, when I don't know. Like a lot of I'm trying and choosing not to live out of like fear and anxiety. Because there's so much that can go wrong, but so much that's also outside of your control. And so it's like I found out so early, like my birthday was around conception, and it was 10 days later. So I literally found out like as early as you probably could.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of like waiting game for that, and like until your first doctor's appointment and figuring all that out. And I'm not usually an anxious person, but the last few months, like I understand how people can be can be more anxious about everything that's outside of your control.
Yeah.
How
Hi, Darian.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could say that the anxiety gets better, but it doesn't. And then they're earth side, and you just have a whole new set of worries and things to stress about. So,
Okay, I don't understand this whole Earthside thing because a lot of celebrities would post like, "Oh, welcome to Earthside," and it's almost like they're an alien. They're still on Earth. They're still. I just think that phrase is a little interesting, a little funny. It's not you. It's like it was this like celebrity like phrase that went on for a while. It's like
yeah. I don't know.
Earthside.
I mean, you bring the. I mean, I don't
They're still
know.
on Earth.
Yeah, but they're not existing on Earth yet. They're being born into. It's like a whole process.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. And anyone have spaghetti ice? I guess I spelled spaghetti ice wrong. I thought it was
Yeah, you
ice.
did. That's okay. The German spelling is EIS.
EIS.
Yeah.
No, I have not. I want to. I don't think I'll be able to travel anytime soon.
Probably not.
Germany.
We should be finding out in the next 4 to 6 months what our timeline looks like. So
Okay.
I'm not sure that we'll be here much longer either. I'm hoping, I don't know. The earliest we could move is this summer, but I think it's probably going to be next. But we'll see.
I would love if you guys did Texas because you'd be 4 hours away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I would want to live in the desert though. El Paso is like very hot.
Yeah.
But I've heard from spouses that have come from there that they've absolutely loved it and have enjoyed their time. So I don't know. We'll see.
I choose them over like Alabama.
See, I want to go back to Georgia. I really like Georgia. Yeah, I would love to go where it's hot year round and there's no winter. I just want to break from snow for a while. We were in Fort
snow.
Yeah, I want to break from that.
Yeah.
Georgia doesn't really. Darian, you can tell me, does Georgia get snow? Or is it like Texas where they have random snowstorms every like 5 years?
Austin got snow a few weeks ago. And then last year in Texas, this time we had the big snowstorm and power outages and stuff.
Yeah.
So when you live in different states then and you need a haircut and or even decent food, what's your research process look like for finding quality good stuff?
Yeah, I usually do like Google Yelp reviews, or I talk to locals and ask like, hey, where do you go for a haircut? And I'm pretty low maintenance with my hair needs though. Not that you're high maintenance. I'm not ever looking for color or anything fancy. So usually I just look up like hair salons near me and I try to avoid the chains, like the chain places. And then I don't know. I read through the reviews and I don't necessarily ever ask for anyone specific unless someone left a review with a specific name about how great they did. So
yeah.
But
I didn't go to a chain. It was a small town, good and decent, like 4.6. And So Lauren, if you're still on, do I try to get it fixed or grow it out or just get comfortable and rock it and into this new phase of life? It's not for the first time in 15 years, 2 weeks. So, oh, wow.
Before I hit the ground. Oh, that's funny. That's how it's been here. And it's really annoying because it's like, if you're going to snow, just snow. Stay on the ground. Like, figure it out. We had sunshine, 45-degree weather, snow, and sleet/hail all in one day. Okay. Lauren says, fix your hair.
Go fix it. Well, then it's like, I'm not trying to get so much chopped off more anyways. A good call. Maybe I'll go to the city and find somebody.
Yeah. Did you stay local to you or could you go to Albuquerque?
I can go to Albuquerque. This was local here down the road.
Yeah, so. I would do that. Maybe try somewhere new in a larger area where you have options.
Yeah. So Darian, I enjoyed, so you went live on Darian's this morning, but it was really cool with multiple people because that was like a cool resource to be able to pick each other's brains about, you know, different recommendations where you are and different foods and stuff. But our dad is in Florida, like Crystal River area. He said it got down to like 30s the other night, and like Florida's actually been really, really cold lately.
Yeah, that's cold. Darian and Dad live not too far from each other, so that's really funny.
That is cool.
And Mom's cooking. Go to Florida often because we're so close, and Mom's cooking. Nothing like a home cooked meal from your mama.
I'm also sick of cooking. I've cooked a lot, and I'm sick of making the same thing. So I probably need more Instapot recipe ideas to make. And also, I've only been craving carbs. So with carbs, it's just carbs and sweets.
Yeah, it happens. I'm trying to think what recipes I really like that I made a lot of.
But I also have been blessed with no nausea. So 11 weeks next week, and I threw up once.
Oh, you threw up once?
Yeah, but I think it was because it was early and something didn't settle right. I don't know. It was, yeah. But like, and that was a few weeks ago.
Pretty good.
But like no nausea. My biggest pregnancy symptom so far has just been I literally pee all the time in the middle of the night. My sleep is disturbed 4 to 5 times from night to morning.
Yeah, it's like that balance of you want to keep drinking because you need to stay hydrated, but then you have to pee all the time.
Yeah.
Darian said, "Oh wow, am I hearing right?"
Yes, I am expecting a little nugget.
I'm gonna be an auntie.
Jess is gonna be an auntie. I will find out gender sometime in April, I think mid-April, and then our due date is sometime in September. I said September.
am still hard set on girl vibes. I think it's a girl.
I think I had a dream that it was a boy.
They say if you have a dream that is a specific gender, it's usually the opposite of what you dreamed of.
Don't tell Mom that.
Mom. Has Mom gotten any dreams lately about it?
No. September. I've heard September is a great month. So our dad's birthday is September 24th. My best friend's baby was born September 22nd. Me and my husband's anniversary is September 21st. So it'll be like September 12th around there, but it could be pushed or not. But I think it's a Virgo, right? Virgo is? I don't know. I'm not good with the zodiacs, but yeah, it's so funny because when we've told a few like close friends and family, like all of his family thinks it's a boy, and then his best friend has dreams that it was a boy, and then you're strong with a girl. And then I have another friend, a coworker we have worked with that thinks it's a girl. So
I just have this, it's usually, well, biologically, like scientifically speaking, it's the man that controls what the gender of the baby is going to be. So I just look at Javi and I just see girl dad. He just looks like he's just so sensitive and sweet. And I feel like he's going to be such a sweet, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be a girl because I just look at Javi and I'm like, I just don't see him having a son. He just looks like the perfect girl dad.
Yeah, he'd be sweet. He's the girl scaring. Like he'd get over that quick.
Yeah, I mean, the attitude, the teenage years are going to be really hard, but
we were pretty attitudinal. But again, like we've said, we got physical like boys. We fought like boys. We brawled.
Yeah, but I was also just like a miserable person to Mom. Like if she breathed the wrong way, I'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so annoying. Can you shut up?" And I was just so mean to her. I still cry sometimes when I think about how awful I was to Mom when I was a teenager. So Mom, if you're still here, I'm still so sorry for being so awful to you.
I feel like I wasn't mean. I was just very depressed and emotional.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just had a lot of attitude and I don't know.
Uh-oh, look out, Max.
Yeah, well, she's already given me a run for money because, they say daughters are usually what, like, I don't know, supposed to be worse than how you were. Yeah, look at.
So Mom, comment below. Is that when I called her?
No, this was
It's
earlier.
So, Mom, comment below if you have any, or Darian, I think you have teenagers. Any parental advice to get through those teenage years? What do you do?
Oh, man.
What do you avoid? Aw, Mom says she forgives you,
Oh,
Jess.
thank you. Thanks.
Oh.
I'm,
Were you worse than I was?
yeah, I think so.
I
I don't remember you ever being mean.
Pray. Darian says pray.
That's funny.
Patience and peace.
That's funny.
Aw,
Kenny says, congrats on the new baby.
Thank you. Max is gonna have a cousin. Her first cousin.
Yeah, I hope that we get to move back soon because it would be fun just to, have them. I mean, they won't grow up together, but they'll be close in age. I think what, like 20-ish months apart. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be fun to have them play, and it would be. I mean, I don't know that I would love El Paso, but it would be really cool to get stationed there, and then we'd only be 3.5 hours away from you. And
13 and 11. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, you got the preteen. Got a fresh teen and a preteen.
Yeah, I feel like he probably has a like I don't know, unique perspective because I feel like teenage daughters are different with their dads than they are with their moms.
That's true.
Maybe not, but
I've heard that. Yeah, the opposite gender. So daughters are closer to their dads, and then sons are closer to their moms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Mike's the fun parent.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. Javi's going to be the fun parent, and I'm going to be the anxious, strict.
Well, yeah. I think it just kind of comes with the territory, though, of like, I mean, I'm home with her all day to raise her. And so I'm like, I don't know. And then I come home for a couple hours in the evening and he's been gone all day working. And so he comes home and he just plays with her and like tries to make up for all the time that he was gone. But it's like she doesn't, she's so excited to see him in the evening that she doesn't do anything bad. She's just like so happy to play and see him. Yeah. And so I don't know. He's just like the fun parent, and I'm the one that gets all the, attitude and stuff. Yeah.
Well, Darren, if you don't see Jess in Germany before she leaves, if we ever have another vacation in Florida, we'll have to. Ocala is super close.
Swimming with the manatees. That could be fun.
We'll invite ourselves on the pontoon boat.
Jen, he gives tours. He does he leads manatee snorkeling tours and stuff. So he said he's familiar with Hunter Springs. So
Dad is always telling the beach guests at Hunter Springs to just go right into the water and do that. And he
got in trouble one time because he told people at the dive shop where they offer tours that they can go to Hunter Springs and see them for free. And the dive shop was like, hey, Phil, we're trying to make money. Can you not say that? Honestly, he's like, oh, yeah, I guess I didn't have a business perspective when I mentioned that. I was like, oh, my gosh, you probably just lost that money.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, maybe next year then. And if COVID's down or, I mean, when we've traveled, we've got our 2 dogs. And so we've driven, New Mexico is only 14 hours from Texas. And then we flew to Florida. So we drove the 2 days, dropped the dogs off with my in-laws in Texas, and then flew out to Florida. So it was kind of doable. Or we could rent a car and do the whole way, but that would be longer. But we also have to figure out, like, in the future when we want to do like family reunions, if we're having to, join our Washington family.
Yeah. How far is it from you guys to Seattle area?
I think it's farther. Let me look. We could also Airbnb a place.
Yeah.
Seattle is from us home.
Mike texted me and he's like, when you're done, I want to watch the Tinder Swindler.
What's
Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix, yeah. So, it's so funny because we watched a trailer for that one, and then, along recommendations with that was the "Don't F with Cats," and I'm like, "Where have I heard that phrase
Yeah.
before?" And Mike had told us in Florida about, like, recommending, so that's on our list. So, we're,
Yeah.
like, 22 hours from
Ooh, that's
Seattle.
far.
I know, it's more
Yeah, you
it's
wouldn't wanna drive
farther.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's rough.
so
Yeah, we still need to, whenever we move back, I think our first priority will be obviously getting settled, and then we need to make a trip over to Seattle
yeah,
since we didn't get to go last year.
yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
hard when you're adult and everyone's spread out,
I know.
trying
You
to
can only
plan
fit
it.
so many things in at one time, and overseas travel is just very, very difficult. And it's super expensive. Yeah, if it weren't for Dad, we wouldn't have gone home at all last year. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad I got that time with you. But
yeah,
we have an extra guest room here, so if you wanna stay with us, you can.
yay!
Yeah, I'm
Sure,
excited.
it'll be fun. I'm
Cool.
excited. It'll be that'll be a good time. I'm excited. I
Yeah.
can't wait to
Seriously.
eat the little nugget. I just yeah, I hope we get to come home soon because we're kind of
Over
over
it.
there. Yeah.
Do you guys have any upcoming plans or travels, or is it all locked down again?
No, we're not in lockdown. Mike is supposed to have a conference in Bosnia,
Mhm.
I think in the spring sometime. So he was talking about me and Max flying and meeting up with him after he does his work conference. Bosnia is tiny. It's like adjacent to Italy, so it's
Mm.
like right across the water. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know,
That
it
would be
could be
pretty
fun.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I also would love to. I have an itch to travel right now in general. So
Yeah.
I would be thrilled to go to Bosnia, but I would
Mhm.
also really want to be able to check off the places that we haven't been able to do yet, like the big bucket
Mhm.
list things. Like I really want to do Ireland. I would love to do London. I would love to do Rome and go to Italy and all the other big spots that we haven't been able to do yet. And it could be fun to do Paris again. I really enjoyed Paris.
Could Mike take off leave when you guys get your new stationed orders and, like, travel like, take a month or something and
Mhm.
travel before you guys have to move?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that might be an option.
he usually gets permitted a certain amount of leave time for moving purposes, and then usually he takes leave on the back end once we're already in the new space, so that he has time off work to like get settled and stuff. But
Nice.
yeah, we could potentially do it beforehand and then use that time to travel.
Yeah, because Max is at a fun age,
Yeah, I
and she
know.
rocked her flight to
Yeah,
Florida.
she did really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me that struggled with the flight. Oh man. You'll need to give me some anxiety reducing tips for flying because I not gonna lie, I like started hyperventilating and crying and I was just like holding her as tight as I could because the turbulence was so bad and I was crying
Really?
thinking that we were gonna crash and yeah, it was like yeah, it was really bad. It was very
That's so
scary.
funny. It's so hard being a social worker out in public because one of the last flights I was on, I think when I visited dad in Florida on my own, so Javi wasn't with me, but it was in 2020, I think. There was like a teenage girl that started having an anxiety attack, and I think she like threw up, and there was like
Oh,
stewards coming to like give her a bag and stuff and like help her out, and mom was trying to talk her down, and I was literally a row above across, and like my social worker kicked in. I'm like, I wanna give this girl some tools right now. But I'm like, no, mom's
yeah,
got it covered. People are probably staring. That's probably embarrassing.
yeah,
Getting more attention. But it's so hard to know how to, yeah, being a good civilian Samaritan, but
yeah,
also not overstepping, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. When I was in that situation, though, I wish more people would have like tried to help calm me down because it
Didn't
just
Mike
felt
try?
very. Yeah, he did,
Yeah.
but I was almost like to the point of like no return. Like I was already
Yeah.
like, he was trying to help me once it got too bad, but then the turbulence just kept getting worse and worse, and then it escalated, and it was just, yeah, it was too scary, and I just, Yeah, it was.
So if anybody, so I'm a therapist, and if anybody is interested or have struggled with anxiety or depression or any type of mental health challenges, head over to my channel. The URL is just Jen L, one N. And I think actually I was planning the next video that I was going to release is an anxiety video, especially I've seen it most with my kids at work, especially with COVID too, because so much has, changed and with COVID regulations. And then I've had kids, the school has closed down and they went to remote. And so between the holidays and January, like kids were out of school for like a month and a half. And I saw a lot of like symptom increase when kids had to go back to in school in person after a month and a half. And so I don't know if you want a few tips right now I can share, or I'll just release that video, but.
All right, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. If you
So
want to share now.
the number one way, so we often.
Breathing, but it doesn't help me.
What?
So I try to do the breathing, but it doesn't really help me.
Well, there's a lot of different breathing. There's a lot of different breathing tips and different. There's a box breathing one that's like 4 by 4 by 4. So you breathe in 4 counts, you hold your breath 4 counts, you breathe out 4 counts and hold your breath. And sometimes having something like counting to fix your mind off something, because with anxiety, your body feels it first before your mind does. And then the mind body is all connected. So if you're having those racing thoughts, intrusive thoughts, if your mind is cycling, the plane is going to crash, the plane is going to crash, and then you're getting your body worked up. So accelerated heart rate, people can get sweaty, people start breathing that hyperventilation. And so really it is through breath work. That's the number one regulatory way to de-escalate yourself. I've also heard tricks of like 4 by 5 by 6. So breathing in 4 counts, hold 5 counts, breathe out and exhale 6 counts. There's also cool visualizations. There's also one I taught some kids this week that actually for middle schoolers, they actually tried and it worked. So it's 5 by 4 by 3 by 2 by 1. And so using this for veterans with PTSD, especially like the example that we use is like, if they're at a 4th of July barbecue and hear some fireworks, their brain automatically could transport them to the war scene of bombs going off. And so one thing that veterans is mindfulness. And so the 5, using your hand, it's using the 5 senses. So 5 things that you see around you, 4 things that you hear, 3 things that you feel, 3 things that you feel, 2 things that you smell, and 1 thing that you feel. And the idea of using the senses is
you said feel twice. You said 3 things that you feel, and then you said 1 thing that you feel.
Oh, so feel by touch, and then feel your heart as in your emotion. Yeah. And so the goal is to like have those skills to try to get into the here and now and be more present in your body and focus on things that are around you by using your senses.
Gotcha. So do you think that it's like the actual breathing that helps, or do you think it's the fact that like you're taking your mind and distracting it with like the counting? And I'm sure it's a combination of both.
I think it's both. I think the breathing is the number one way. And so here's the other thing that's a big common misconception. When you're anxious, people aren't breathing deep enough. If you're breathing and your shoulders are moving, that's incorrect. You're getting a shallow breath through your chest. You don't want to breathe through your chest. You want to breathe from your diaphragm. So for little kids, we call it belly breathing. And it's always easy to practice deep belly breathing when you're relaxed, because it's always hard to practice new skills when you're already anxious, right? Like you're already, distracted with how you're feeling. It's hard to practice something new. So with little kids, I have them, if they're in bed at night, or sometimes we lay down on the floor and grab a pillow or a stuffed animal or a toy and put your hand on your heart and your stomach. And you want to make sure your belly is going up and down as you're deep breathing. But I also think you get in this like mental loop where if it's the intrusive thoughts, like that's making you more anxious, and then your body makes you feel anxious. And so I think having that breathing and then trying to distract, but I also know fighting anxiety can also make it worse because it's like, if you're trying to combat anxiety. So a lot of tools that we use in therapy too is just like acceptance. And I do a lot of positive mantras. Like, I'm feeling anxious right now. That's okay. This feeling's going to pass. I'm safe and different doing. What did Lauren say? Someone? It's both. Yeah.
At what point do you say, okay, I need some Xanax?
I'm not a prescriber. Talk to your, so, here's the other thing that's so
like
hard
you
about
can
anxiety.
try all like the natural and like holistic and those easier intervention type things, but some people need medication. So I guess at what point do you kind of know, all right, maybe it's time for me to get some help?
So a few thoughts on medication. Again, I'm not a prescriber or a doctor, and so talk to your primary care physician. One of the things that anxiety is so hard is that we live in a stressful environment, and like not all stress is bad. When we go in to give a presentation or have to take a test, it's normal to get stressed out and anxious about, different life milestones. Anxiety becomes a problem when it starts to interfere with your activities of daily living. So if it's becoming, interference with your sleep, with your appetite, with your socialization and social skills, if you're calling out sick, and like anxiety can manifest itself as physical symptoms. So people can vomit, have diarrhea, like all of those things. And so with medication, there's pros and cons, right? Because a lot of medications, they could give potential side effects, and then you're having to deal with side effects. And then a lot of prescribers throw more medications to manage side effects, and then the cost of medication. I always recommend, if somebody is medicating and it's so out of control, it can help stabilize, but medication with therapy is the best combo, because honestly, like medication is just a band-aid. It's just kind of covering up the symptoms, and like you want to be able to learn to work through that. I have a family member that has been on medication, like antidepressants and stuff, for over 20 years and has never had therapy. And it's like, first of all, how well is that medication working? And should it be something that's so long-term? But you really have to figure out those triggers and what the underlying, symptomology is that's causing it, to be able to like help you heal through that. Because I don't think medication's a long-term fix. So
that's a good answer. Makes sense.
Yeah. But sometimes, medication can be helpful in the beginning to get your body regulated, to be able to learn those new skills and help you breathe through it, and like an as needed, or, things like that. So it's a complicated answer, and everybody's different, and everybody has different, styles, but
needs. And
I don't believe in band-aids. Like you're just covering up, the symptoms. It's not a long-term thing. You want to be able to get some healing from that.
And get to the root of the problem instead of just like moving on to the next thing and thinking it'll get better.
And the other thing too is like
work answer.
What?
I said, what a great social work answer. That's a great response.
I love so here's the other thing with anyone with little kids, and something for you to know, like kids' brains are like mirrored through adults. Like there's, I don't know, the gray matter in the brain. So essentially, when we're trying to keep our kids calm and they're escalated or whatnot, a lot of parents get flustered and they start to get escalated, or they yell. And it's like, how can you help regulate a child when you're irregulated yourself?
Right.
And so that's a big thing with parents, like teaching parents the skills to be able to mirror the behaviors that you want to see, staying on the eye level, low voice, like, staying calm yourself, because anxiety is actually one of the most contagious, mental health things out there. Like it's easy to spread. So
yeah, for sure. I'd say that's that's been a challenge for us. It's like want to teach Max how to emotionally regulate herself and learn those skills that she needs to stay in control and stay calm and all that stuff. I think part of it is we're just at a weird age where she doesn't understand what I'm saying to her yet. So it's just a lot of distraction right now. But I definitely have my moments where I'm like, okay, well, this is just frustrating me and her, and we just need a break for a minute.
Yeah. Oh, bye, Darian. Thanks for joining us.
Hi,
Appreciate
Darian.
it.
Thanks for coming on and saying hi. We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so regulation can be different things. So it's good that like it doesn't benefit you any by staying in
Yeah.
that moment if you're not regulated. So taking that break, taking a breath, trying to recenter yourself to be able to approach it with her. But regulatory, things can be anywhere from physical and like that back patting to music to breathing, even breathing with her. And it's not too young to,
Yeah.
start to teach her those things. But
Yeah. That's true.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Was not expecting to share all my anxiety tips in this one, but
No,
if you were
good.
interested,
It's
follow
helpful
me over
for
there.
anybody. I mean, everyone experiences some
Yeah.
form of anxiety at some point in their life, whether they're diagnosed with it or,
Right.
they're just in stressful situations that
Sure.
freak them out. I don't know.
For
It's
sure.
a good skill to have and talk about.
Yeah.
It's never a bad thing.
Well, cool. All right. You want to end it here?
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. my time and I'm starting to yawn. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was fun. Thanks for everybody for joining. We had more people join this time than last.
Yeah, this
That's
was fun.
It was.
Yeah.
All right.
For anyone that's still here, Jen's channel is all about holistic wellness and lifestyle. She is a licensed social worker, and we were supposed to go live on her channel to talk about all of this, but she had another technical difficulty and we couldn't figure it out. So we're live on mine, but you guys should go follow her, and we'll be doing more lives on her channel once she gets everything squared away.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
It's life. Such is life. Well, cool.
All right. Love you too, Mom. All right. We'll talk to everyone later. Thanks for tuning in.
I'll keep an update on the hair.
Yeah.
Fixed.
You should, go get that fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shag look.
Yeah.
Keep you
updated. Yeah. You should let us, see before and after pictures. It'll be good.
Four-step process.
You can't get worse than where you're already at.
Don't jinx that. I'm sure it could be worse.
Yeah, possibly.
There's always worse. All right. Have a good day. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, have a good Valentine's Day weekend.
Thank you. You too.
I'm gonna bake cookies tomorrow, so I'll show you how they turn out. I'm gonna vlog it. They're gonna be funny. I don't know. We'll see how they turn out. I'm not a baker. But I'm like trying to do all the really fancy stuff, like the flooding of the cookies and like
flooding.
Yeah. So have you not seen the icing where you make like the thick sugar cookies and then they take like the piping bag and they flood it and they take the needle and they like drag the icing around? No. Okay. All right.
Well, side note with food really quick. Have you heard of there's like a Greek yogurt like custard on toast that people are putting in the oven? I'll send you the recipe, but it's Greek yogurt with an egg, cinnamon, vanilla. You stir it up or something, and then you put it on toast in the oven.
I have not heard of that, but I have heard of someone taking avocado toast and grating a hard-boiled egg on top, and apparently it's like a game changer.
I would add red chili pepper on that.
Yeah.
I love avocado. I could eat that every day.
That was Mike's that was his definition of success the other day. I was like, what is the next 5 to 10 years looks like? He's like, I just want to live in a nice home and have avocado toast for breakfast every day. He's like, avocados are really expensive.
They are.
Okay.
Organic, big ones. Yeah. I had organic, or I had an avocado with a fried egg on toast with chopped up tomatoes. And
you should try making a bagel sandwich and doing bagel, avocado, a slice of ham, and a slice of cheese, and a fried egg. And that is my favorite breakfast sandwich. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really filling. It will fill you up.
Yeah, the carbs and the protein for sure. I do it without the ham, but I've done that.
Oh, you can.
Onions. I like onions on there. Sauteed onions.
You lost me at onions. You should try that pasta recipe that I made it again tonight. I'll send you pictures of it. It's the protein
spaghetti
pasta.
one.
Yeah, with the grated zucchini and the onion, Roma tomato.
Ooh.
What's the other thing called? Ricotta cheese. Yeah, I'll send it.
Ooh, I like ricotta cheese.
Yeah,
we're going grocery shopping today, so send us ideas.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Time to go. It says connection's unstable. Okay, bye.
Bye.